the biggest mistake that we see, because we've had customers that have lost or had items maybe stolen or misplaced, is the misconception that you have to have a jewelry box.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first place I think somebody's going to go, or where eyes will typically be drawn if you have contractors in the house. Maybe you're doing a remodel, or having people come in to do whatever in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Having a jewelry box on your dresser or somewhere visible, I think, is probably the biggest mistake I think people can make.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you can hide, if you can hide it somewhere, that would always be best.
All right. So speaking about hiding,
Mm-hmm.
where do we hide? Do you have like recommendations on like behind hidden artwork pieces,
Sure.
or obviously a safe is probably the best, but where should we be hiding these valuables?
There's a number of places that you can put stuff. I know a lot of people have walk-in closets,
Mm-hmm.
and getting what we call like a mini safe,
Mm-hmm.
and you can hide those under shoe racks. You can mount them in the closet underneath clothes, where people, again, when you walk into a walk-in closet, you wouldn't really have any idea that a safe would be there.
Mm-hmm.
A mini safe would be the easiest way to hide something under clothes, under a shoe rack, something like that. Of course, if you can do it, a hidden safe is always great. If you
And
can
who
put it in the
doesn't
wall,
love
put it behind a
something that's
painting.
hidden, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, it
In
makes it more
rooms, in
fun too
safe.
every time you access it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Let's see. There was a question on here.
I didn't know what questions you were going to ask, so I
Well,
I came prepared with a list of tips too of various things. But
Well, so when you mentioned contractors coming in, or when things are happening in your house, so what typically are those time frames? Is it when you're having guests, when you're having work done in your home? I mean, obviously it should be kept in a safe and hidden
Mhm.
and in a safe, secure place. But when do those loss happen in your home typically?
Usually it will be if it's left out on the dresser. Well, I've
Mhm.
seen instances where whether you have contractors, cleaning maids, guests over,
Mhm.
usually situations, and you don't know if it's theft. You don't know if it was simply misplaced. I know a lot of people that on their dresser, they actually have a little bowl, and they'll put stuff in that
Mhm.
as well, and that's also an easy way for things to get misplaced.
Sure.
So whether it's theft or misplaced, or I know it's a little bit more of an inconvenience to constantly go back to a safe or a secret hideaway spot, if you will, but it's probably the best, because then you know that it's in that spot and it's not out in the open.
Sure. Okay. So is that the best way to balance security and accessibility, is to have the mini safes maybe throughout your closet?
That's what I would recommend.
Okay.
Is to have that, and a lot of those mini safes you can have it to where it's a 4-digit quick code, pops open. There are also fingerprint ones that'll pop open, and it's doesn't take too long to get in. They even have them where they're jewelry specific, where you can have them organized in drawers, so you
Oh,
can have your
perfect.
jewelry in there. You can pull out a top drawer, will be all your rings and bracelets, and then
Mhm.
the bottom shelf would come out in it, and it would be all your earrings and necklaces. So it's
Perfect.
kind of easy in, easy out.
Yeah, because accessibility is important.
It is, especially when you're getting ready and you're on the go. If you have kids,
Right.
everybody, you plan on leaving the house at 5:45, but things happen and you want to get in and out really quick, but
Yeah.
still have your jewelry secured, and not make it where you have to do a 3 tumbler combo.
A secret dance move
Yeah,
and
just to
all
get
of
into it.
that.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So what conversations should interior designers and homeowners be having early on to plan for these things?
I would say to find out how many valuables do you have that you're
Mm.
going to want to kind of hide away or lock
Mhm.
away, and then looking at locations in your house where you would be able to put those safes.
Mhm.
Because there are some really cool options where you can have a safe into a walk-in closet, but it can be hidden behind a wall or a shoe rack. But it depends on what an individual wants to keep in it. There are a lot of clients that we have that don't just keep jewelry in safes. They also keep other personal, valuable items. So when you're doing your build, I think the biggest thing is what are you going to want locked away and how close do you want to have access to it?
Sure. Okay. All of your important things, social security cards, passports,
Yes.
those things.
All of those as
Yeah.
well. Yep.
All right. So as far as education goes, what role does insurance play in having a conversation about having a safe and jewelry security? Do they need to be taking pictures, documenting,
Good question.
updating appraisals and things like that?
Absolutely. I would always say, and actually this lovely little guide I get was, the first one was a lot of people, you want to keep an inventory.
Okay.
Even if it's a $500 item, a $50 item, because if you have 15 $50 items, those things add up.
Sure.
Or 5 $500 items, those things add up. So we always recommend take good pictures of what you have. Keep your receipts. Electronic receipts are actually really nice too in case of a house fire or something like that. You have an electronic version of the photographs and an electronic version of the receipt.
Okay.
And any heirlooms or any items that you deem of value, always have those appraised. And then, so your insurance company will have record of what you have as well. So if there is loss or theft or damage, you would able to go back to those appraisals. Your insurance company would have them. Your jeweler will have record of that. And it makes everything easier for whatever instance that may be.
Okay. So I was told that I needed to take my ring in every 6 months and have it cleaned and looked at. Is that also like, do homeowners need to be doing those kinds of things regularly so they don't have a loss of maybe a diamond over time?
Yes, that we recommend every 6 months. However, you can do it as often as you'd like. And it's for that. It's like, so when you wear a ring or usually it's rings and bracelets that get the most wear. Gold is like being a precious metal. It is soft and it does wear over time. Luckily, it doesn't wear as fast as tire tread does, but it is similar to tire tread.
Right.
It will wear over time.
Okay.
And because diamonds, specifically diamonds, can be that's harder than gold, is sometimes you have good metal on your prongs or your channels, but they kind of rock the gold loose, rock themselves loose.
Okay.
So it's always good to have them. One, they get cleaned up really nice, but two, yes, you can check. You can find something. Maybe there's a loose stone or two in it, and it's just a simple tightening that you would need to have done. But minimum every 6 months.
Okay, and that's just the pieces you're wearing frequently, or
Definitely the pieces you wear frequently.
Okay.
Now pendants, earrings, you don't really have to have them cleaned as much. I would probably say studs you want to have cleaned often because the ladies you have a lot of hairsprays and different perfumes and things that get on them. It's just good. You don't really see earrings come loose too much. It's really just to clean them up a little bit.
Sure.
Which you can buy cleaners and we sell cleaners you can put at home that you can clean your studs too. The ones you wear every day, yes, you want to do a minimum every 6 months.
Okay.
But we do have customers that will bring in quite a few items that they don't wear that often. They just like to have them cleaned and just
I
it's
suppose like
peace of
spring
mind.
cleaning.
Exactly.
Bring your items in, have them cleaned up, get them fresh.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Peace of mind. They look good and everything's ready to go when you do wear them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your advice for a family that's just starting to collect, or they've maybe inherited some pieces?
Inherited, definitely want to make sure you document it. If you want to make sure if you're not going to have an appraisal, at least photograph it and try to get some information on those pieces. And that we see a lot of that where they'll inherit grandma's or aunts or somebody's jewelry down the line. They might not know what they have, so make sure, bring it into a jeweler, maybe Faini, to have them
For
look
sure.
at it and at least see what it is you have. Because a lot of times, I've even seen people come across something on Rummage that they thought was just a costume ring. Come to find out it was a 1-carat diamond ring.
Oh my goodness.
They were nice that they went back to that Rummage the next day and actually returned the ring. And they were the Rummage people people that were selling it were very thankful because they had no idea. So
Sure.
with things that are handed down to you, make sure you find out what it is, document it if you're not going to have it appraised. So if something were to happen, you at least have pictures and descriptions and things like that.
Okay. That's really good advice. Um, that's so interesting that someone you have had that situation
Yes.
where someone has come in, they just purchased it at a rummage and
hmm
you're like, "Oh no, this is
Yep. Yep.
a real item."
Yeah. And I think it speaks a lot about our community is that person felt okay that they should know and brought it,
Yeah.
brought it back. So that was nice too. But we get a lot of
Wow.
times where they acquire so many things they really have no idea what it is, and they look at it and they think, well, that probably a good size ruby, and come to find out it's a grade A imitation, and they let the still let the grandkids play with it. So
Sure.
yeah,
How often do you see people inheriting items and then sort of redesigning them and creating their own piece from maybe grandma's jewelry?
all the time we deal with that all the time. Yeah, and that's the fun thing for us is sometimes you wouldn't always wear what grandma had, or
Uh-huh.
it's kind of just an odd collection of things that you wouldn't necessarily wear. But knowing that they can use the gold, reuse the gold, melt it down into the new piece, use the diamonds, we see that all the time. So it's really fun to help them, and we guide them through the whole process. And then we document for them everything at the end.
Okay.
Is once the piece is created, if they take a bunch of items and they use it and create a ring or a pendant, we take pictures for them. We put it on an insurance appraisal, and
Okay.
it's fully documented on what everything is, and it has the insurance replacement value. So we have that as our records. We provide that to our customers. So if something were to happen, damage, loss, theft, it's documented somewhere.
Okay. So what is that process? If I bring in a pile of things and I want to create something new and different, what is that process that you guys have?
Well, it's for custom. It can be overwhelming for people because they don't know, right? They have no idea what their options are. They have no idea. So a lot of people come to us and they have no idea what they want. So the first stage is just kind of discovery. Let's discover what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at what you have and let's identify it and see if, okay, can we use it? Do you want to use it?
Mm-hmm.
Then the second part of the discovery phase is, again, a lot of people don't know what they want. That's where we go that extra mile to find out more about the individual and what do they like to do? We just, in conversation, we discover what some of their likes are as far as
Okay.
jewelry concepts. And then that's where the magic really happens is now we get to play around with the stones and we get to lay stuff out and come up with designs, and we make sure everybody has the proper visual aids. So we do 3-dimensional renderings, wax
nice.
molds, and it's just we take that fear of the unknown out of the equation when it comes to custom design, because it can be. It goes back to that thing you initially asked, which it goes back to trust.
Sure.
Is I know I like this design, and I trust that they're bringing this to life the way that I want. And so our ultimate goal with every customer, whether it's a repair or redesigning grandma's rings or mom's rings, is to make sure that they smile when they get it. That's how we know that it was
A successful
success.
endeavor. Yeah.
Yes.